All right. Yeah, I've got your stream loaded up here.
All right, let's go look. All right, we're on point here already. We're all good to go.
Oh, just went live.
There we go. Yeah, fantastic. All right, welcome everybody tonight. It is your boy Machine. He's ready. So this is Razz here, and I'm
It's
here
your
with
boy.
Machine. Want to say what's up to everybody?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right, so
Yeah,
tonight
man. Ready to cast some dope CPL games.
I
Let's
am
do it.
very excited. So tonight we are casting some of the preseason action. We have Group 41. Um, I'm not so Jacob. What up, buddy? How you doing? So tonight we're gonna
Hey,
be
what's up?
he's gonna be no league tonight right now. We're getting this stream in right here. Tonight we're gonna have Group 41. So we have a bunch of different matches. Michi, we were talking about this earlier, kind of being coaches in this event that while casting, we definitely want to be able to provide some feedback and talk about what's going on in the replays, and keep things really positive. And so, if people have questions, we're hoping that you could throw them in the chat. Hopefully, we can respond and talk. We want this to be interactive and as learning for a lot of players as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It should be fun. It seems like we're gonna get these couple games in, a couple different matchups, so we should be able to provide some feedback. Cast some cool games. So should
Yeah,
be cool.
I think I'm excited to see some of the players. I know this is tier 1 and 0 apparently, so guys are between 1500 and 1900 MMR. So definitely some good players are going to be showcased tonight. So I'm really excited. I think we even have the boss himself, Snipe, in some of these games. So we're gonna get to
Oh
cast the
snap!
boss. I know, a lot of pressure casting the boss on night number 1. But
Oh
let's see.
boy. Okay.
So we're gonna.
Should probably give it like 10 minutes or so. So wait for more people to join the chat and stuff before we get started. But yeah, this should be fun, man.
Yeah, we'll give everyone a chance to kind of
Can
jump in.
we talk about the first matchup, first game at all?
Sure.
Who we got going up?
Yeah, we had a guy used two different names between the game and the other, but we have Amazon Core SE versus Jelly Mang. A little
Amazon Core XC. Okay.
Yeah, versus Jelly Mang. We have a little PVT action on Eclipse. So I am first
Ooh.
player. I will say I think Eclipse in the beginning for Protoss definitely has its advantages being a two-player map. Gas Steel is always on the table.
Gas Steel. I'm sure like proxy gates, on any 2-player map, like just knowing right where your opponent's going to spawn. It allows for a lot more, I don't know, just like kind of chancy, risky, gimmicky kind of builds if you want to open that, obviously. So,
Yeah, I know. I am personally a fan. I definitely have used it in best of 3, best of 5 series, where I've rolled out the old 7-7.
7-7 gate.
So 7 pylon, 7 gate.
Oh,
Throwing our us on the screen here for a little bit too while we're waiting.
okay.
If we get if they picks us up. But I've definitely it's got me, not you yet. But I've definitely used that myself. And it's definitely effective because a lot of Terran, they see the probe come in and they think it's a gas steal.
I see.
So they
Okay.
throw their gas down before they throw down their barracks, which really messes with their timing. So you can get the
I could
Zeldin
see
there
that.
while the barracks is still being built. So you could definitely take advantage early of some players.
Is it possible to wall the ramp? I'm sure it is, right?
I think so. I'll be honest, because no Terran wall anymore. I don't even know. I don't know the last time I've seen a player really wall other than maybe on like Fighting Spirit and Circuit Breakers when they're bottom right.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that walling on one base in general with Terran just like completely went by the wayside.
Yeah, they
Uh,
totally stopped especially with all the Sim Cities between the barracks and the depots. top right definitely has a nice little wall in with the double depot, and the bottom left base has a good wall in. If you build like barracks next to the command center and 2 more depots, you can really block the zealots out from inside your main.
Okay, okay.
Definitely positive. The next challenge on this map, though, for Terran to overcome is getting to that third base.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is like, I mean, it's not the furthest away of like third bases that you can really think of, but it is kind of at an awkward angle, and at least it's a high ground base, so it should be a little easier for Protoss to kind of hold. But same for Terran as well, you could say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think as the game goes on, though, I feel like Terran grow into the map, especially when they can push over the high ground and then like from base to base, the middle positions, so they can
got it.
actually go across and kind of get on those high grounds. Um, I think that arbiter play is a little bit harder on this map. I know people do love it, but I think it's definitely more challenging with how the bases are constructed, especially with the third being taken and the Terrans turret up. I think it's a little more difficult. I prefer a little bit more carrier use on this map, but I think that comes down to personal preference.
Is there any advantage on this map to that double gas space? Like, does that ever come into play?
It
I'm
does when
I'm sure pretty rare,
it
but
does split map scenarios. You know, like when the map gets totally Terran just start turtling up, they can kind of cut the map in half, and then that's usually where the battle really becomes for who's going to capture top left. Um,
yeah, I feel like it's very similar Zerg versus Protoss too.
yeah,
Like,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You know how it is. If you get the double gases, Zerg, you're feeling real good. Uh,
Oh yeah, man.
Terran
That's
feels
a
even
that's a
better.
ultra and just dance on them kind of scenario for sure.
It's
Like,
You're like, oh, so much gas, don't know what to do with it. Um,
yeah.
but it does happen on this map because the interesting part about the map is that there are really only like 4 pathways across the map when you really think about where you can attack. It's like through the main high ground, like come up the ramp, down the ramp, up the ramp, then a little bit above that, and then from each other's fourth base. Like those are the only
Mm,
true places that you can fight. Like I know, like PVZ on this map, that's usually Zerg move their army to keep kind of fighting in those different areas. I think the same for
yeah,
Terran.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So
One thing I've heard about on this map, clips in particular, as far as like from a Terran perspective, um, I I've heard that 7 fact timing push is super strong because you basically go from that high ground that's right outside your natural, and then you're pushing to a high ground right outside like the Protoss's natural. As long as you're hitting your timing windows, you're rallying right. It's a tough area to really flank the Terran from. You know.
oh, I totally agree. Definitely felt that before where they come attack. It's almost like you have to meet them in between where the high grounds are, and it's still kind of awkward because you're both on a high ground.
Well, they're on high ground. You're on a low ground, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because where like the high ground meets the low ground. It's almost
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
fighting across, and it's like I don't even know what the AI is for that. Like, is there a miss percentage from high ground to high ground?
Uh, I don't think so, but that would be interesting to know. Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
do they get after it? So it'll be interesting to see what our players come up with, what they open with, what their builds are. Um, I do know I've seen some Nexus first from some Protoss only because Flash is random. He got Protoss on this map, I believe versus Rush, and he 12 Nexus.
Oof. Okay. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be standard play for someone like myself, but definitely interesting. So I'm definitely curious to see what these guys decide is going to be their route. So
Yep. Same here, man.
it's going to get interesting.
Awesome.
All right, let's see what we got here. One round away. So we're in our
Well,
game here.
should we go ahead and get it started? You
Let's get
think,
it
or
started. Let's jump in. We got about 10 people, and hopefully more people will be joining into the stream as we go, as things get it moving along. But let's jump in here and let's see what we got. I do not know where our players are from. If you're a player in the game and you want to tell us where you're from and what's going on, please let us know. We would be more than happy to shout you out so we know what's going on. Because we're gonna see what's going on here. All right, let's get it rolling.
all right, let's do this. Okay.
So
Well, looks like spawning in the bottom left corner as our red Terran. We got machine learning. I love the name.
shit, there it is. I think
Yeah,
he's ready to be on your team.
I think he is, man. I think pretty much after this, who knows? Maybe I'll be joining his team.
You know, maybe it was a message he knew you'd be casting this match, and he'd be like, "Machine, take some notes down for your Terran as we
Yeah.
get after it." And in the top right, we have Jelly Mang. He's ready.
Yeah, buddy, spawning that Protoss. It's got that beautiful Nexus, making some probes. I don't see a probe running across the map so far, so it's probably going to be a pretty standard play.
So far,
Guessing
straight up.
from Jelly so far.
Yeah, I would
There we
say I
go.
prefer by proxy. Actually, I prefer to proxy when I'm top right to the bottom left.
Why is that?
Just because the Terran can do the barracks here and the depot, and it makes a really hard Sim City. And they put their factory here, and they can fire from the Sim City into the factory. Definitely more challenging. Where in this base, they kind of have to build it here and their factory up here, and you can kind of harass more with your zealots.
Okay.
We'll see. SCV going out. Will we have a possible gasless?
Ooh, he's building his barracks on the low ground. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm guessing. He's setting up in case Protoss steals his gas, like you were saying, on any kind of two-player map, like especially for PvT, the threat of like gas steal is something that's very real. And I think I actually really like this play by machine learning. He's definitely adjusting, recognizes the possibility of what he could hit on this map, and absolutely, if Protoss scouted after Pylon, he could have stolen that gas. But I think Protoss is playing pretty standard here. Machine learning should be maybe taking his gas, unless he's just opting to go straight for the gasless here.
Yeah, maybe a build that he prepped, knowing that playing Eclipse, he might have a gas deal, so it might be easier just to go gasless, take the command center, get the bunker down, and then deal with the simulator in your base. Like you said, it's definitely a good play for this map. Definitely can be strong. It doesn't seem like Jellymang is building the Zealot. He's not going for the Zealot after core, Zealot before core. Actually, we have a 10-15.
Ooh, okay. Does that mean goon pressure?
That means heavy goon pressure. Definitely a build that we used to see back in the day a lot more before these bunker builds were happening. And Terran were getting like coming down with the tank and 4 Marines. I don't remember the map Medusa.
Oh yeah.
This was the go-to build on Medusa PvT. 10-15, press them and break them. But I'm pretty sure the CV went in, so he should know what's going on.
Do you think this was in response to the late gas in the main? He just thought, hey, he's not going to have a tank for a while. Screw it. Let's pound away at that bunker, force some repair time, and maybe, possibly take an early win if the opponent messes up or something?
For sure. I think that's probably what he's thinking about right now, saying that, you know what, if I can pull off 4 or 5 SCVs, because he needs 1 SCV for every goon that's attacking the bunker to repair it. Because if I can pull off 4, 5, 6 SCVs this fast, command center really won't help him. So it could be that. He's going to press it, try to break it. We'll see where he goes from here.
Machine learning squeaking that SCV into the main of Jellymang. He's going to go ahead, scout that spinning cyber core. Double gateways. You could pretty much assume that's goon range at that point. And yeah, I mean, he should be expecting to see 2 gateways that quickly, right?
Yeah, he should really feel that the pressure's coming. I'm not even sure if he should add another Marine to the bunker just in case. I don't even know if it matters, but at least have an SCV or 2 ready to go.
Yeah.
Because when it's this late in the game, he's not canceling it like just 1 armor or 1 air attack to do DT or something tricky.
Got it. I do like the wall off here, especially with that depot on the top of the command center for machine learning. Like, even if this starts going well for Protoss and Protoss decides, screw it, let's try to go for a run by, he's got to run through that SCV line. And goons are just fucking fat, bro. Like, they don't slip by anything, especially not linebackers. Like, he's gonna force him to really engage that bunker, and he could even pick off a couple dragoons if Jellymang tries anything silly.
Yeah, as you know, the Dragoon AI is not the smartest. They are definitely some of the stupidest units. So trying to run by this side and getting somewhere well hidden is not going to happen. So I'm really concerned right now about this bunker.
Same. Only 3 SCVs mining. The tell of the tale is usually you want to have 1 SCV repairing per Dragoon, and with 5 Dragoons, he really just lifted the wall, pulled the SCVs at the wrong time. Even if that barracks was landed, I think this tank could possibly hold, but wow. Machine learning really forced to react here, pull these SCVs. You know, that being said, he's only lost a few SCVs, bunker, some Marines, but man, this is a scary time here. Wow, pulling the tank back at the last possible second, got his siege up in time. You know, he's, yeah, it was a really unfortunate scenario, silly mistake. We all make them, I know I do, but machine learning really doing the best he kind of can with the situation. And I think we're still going to have a game on our hands here.
I would agree. The SCV count is still above the probe count. The Nexus was a little bit late because he was micro-machine. We all know how that goes. Multitasking, getting crazy all over the place, trying to micro. We got a push here.
Here we go. He's pushing in on that low ground tank. SCV block just at the right time, but ooh. Yeah, he's going to be forced to just pick off these SCVs here, but who knows. Oh, pulling more SCVs from the main at the same time, hitting the repair on the tank. Great drill, and a tank runs in at just the right time to save the day. Wow. What a crazy game we have so far.
It's getting wild already.
Yeah, man.
Trades. I got to say, it's a pretty... I don't want to say like super even. Might have helped Protoss a little more, but he lost like 8 Dragoons. For 2 tanks and a couple SCVs, it's going to be definitely an interesting trade. You got to take care of this Goons quickly and get these tanks down so he doesn't lose more SCVs.
I'm really not worried about the tank trades as much as this lost mining time. I mean, Terran should know he's got to pull these SCVs back. Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's lost the mining time at his natural, but it's actually even the main too. You remember he forced a drill from the SCVs in the main, and so main's been undersaturated now for quite some time. Whereas I think if he just kept the SCVs alive a little better, he might have found himself in a better spot here.
Yeah, that's really great analysis, true. Because now he's down 5 SCVs.
Yeah,
he lost all that mining time. Protoss is expanded. We see a robo.
Does have a Goliath here.
I think he's anticipating the Reaver follow-up. I think that's pretty common today in like the meta, so I think he's anticipating that's why he goes with the Goliath.
It makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. He doesn't. I don't see robotics anywhere, so right now it's just the Robo. It almost looks like I think we're gonna have a double expand. Now that he's done enough damage, he feels very confident he's gonna take the economic lead to the mid game.
I think this is a beautiful call by Jelly Ming. You know, like obviously siege tanks are tough. He was able to pick off quite a few, but once Terran really gets, it feels like 3 tanks at a natural, you're not trading efficiently against that. But that being said, he saw the forced investment on early siege. He shouldn't expect much of Volt Harass to really be hitting at this moment. So he can kind of play a little bit more carefree, securing that third when he, might not be able to if there were vultures on the map. And really just kind of getting to spend some time and some investment on his economy going into this mid game.
Yeah, I think it's a great choice, especially because he saw the Goliath already. He saw that he's producing Goliath, so it's almost like unless you go speed shuttle and really get really good harassment, it's almost like a wasted investment for Terran if you make them do the Goliaths and the range, and then you do this double expand. Like, he can't put any map pressure on right now.
Exactly. And I think, you're spot on. If you look at Protoss' natural, he's got a shuttle out. But I think that was probably preemptive to scouting that Goliath at the natural. And he thought, well, you know what? No sense in trying to tech and go Reaver tech here or something. Let's just let's sit back, play on our win here and kind of just not worry about any sort of drop or anything like that. Just pour money into your economy, make more probes. So.
Nah, Machine, it hurts my heart to see this right here. the starport.
Oh,
As a
the
Protoss player, I do not love the starport addition, especially in today's world of vulture drops. I've been ahead
yeah.
in so many games, then 1 or 2 vulture drops can just start wiping probe lines. But I think I'm hoping that machine learning, it seems like he's going for the science facility right away for upgrades. I would love to see him get a dropship because
I really would too.
he's been scanning these bases and he sees that it's all this observer play, all this stuff. I know it's tougher. He doesn't know about the third yet, but when a Protoss walls his basin like this, he can't get units to protect the mineral line. He will have to add cannons here to protect that mineral line, and I think if he could do that and force more cannons out, he can slowly creep back into that eco game here.
Yeah, it always feels just so horrible for the Protoss player when that dropship runs into your third base and you're like, oh no, but I walled off to protect against the vultures. You know, like suddenly they're in your mineral line and your dragoons are trapped outside.
You think you're
Like-
such an architect, and you're like, oh no, I'm not. Oh, this is awful. What did I do? And then you're
man.
running probes between the pylons, killing the pylon with the goons, and you're like, damn it, what was I thinking? This is
Yep. That's if they didn't get trapped on your cannons on their way out. Like,
if the goons don't just walk to somewhere else because that's how their AI thinks. Now, Machine, I didn't see what time he took the second gas, but he has not been mining it.
Ooh, good catch.
He has not
Yeah.
been mining the second gas.
That's gonna hurt, especially going. Is this Arbiter tech? I mean, he's getting
tech,
Yeah, he definitely needs that. He should be correcting that and maybe take a quicker third gas. So I think because he is securing these 4 gas bases, like he can come back from this. But man, he's got to recognize it here real soon.
Yeah,
It's a tough habit to fix for some, like really just getting into the habit of once every minute or so. Okay, I'm going to physically look at each of my bases, make sure they look okay. To catch idle probes. Make sure you have all your probes on gas. Oh man, and he's actually hitting a big probe transfer from the natural and didn't recognize it. Yeah, this is gonna add up. I feel like machine learning was in a pretty rough spot, but I don't know. He's still in this.
Yeah, I do this all the time, and you know it. I always miss my gas, or I only put 2 on there. And you're right; it has to be a good habit just to take a peek.
It's tough to do, just like everything else in this game.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. It's another thing, not to check off the list, but look at his gas right now compared to his mineral. If he had both of those gases running in a third, he would easily right now have his arbiter going.
Easily.
Have the arbiter going.
Yeah, when he's got, like there are obviously uses for being pretty mineral heavy here. Like he's gonna have plenty of speed zealots to deal with the pretty heavy tank comp here from machine learning. But yeah, like obviously you want to get those arbiters up, and he has corrected it here. And it looks like he's taking a quick third gas here too. So yeah, he's still in this.
Yeah.
I mean, we say that as everything else about his macro, I gotta say, looks pretty incredible.
He's doing a great
He's
job.
already on his 4th base. He's got full probe saturation at that 4th, at like pretty much right after it popped up here. Little sparse at the natural, but happens.
Yeah, very distributed, taking 1 per patch. He's doing a great job. I would say I'd love to see him add a big gateway explosion at this point. Like, don't float that 1600. You know the Terrans on 2 bases. Just become gateway man. Add all those gateways because you want to be a bunch of gateways ahead of the Terran all the time when they're pushing out. Because this is their tack. He scouts it.
Ooh, shaving off some units does Jellymang, and yeah, absolutely. Those Goliaths coming in handy. I'd like to see him scan his army and maybe just kill off that observer here. But man, look at that tight formation from those tanks. Like there's no engaging that right now.
No way. Especially he's on 2-1 already, Machine. I mean, that's just going to be already starting to melt these Protoss units with no armor, no shields. These tanks just start to blast away.
Yep, he's got the seven factories. He's got a vessel here. So to deal with this arbiter tech, I really think the last thing there is to do is just start kind of pushing. He's laying down mines here at the high ground. I'd like to see those placed maybe up more towards his third. He's
100%.
scanning the Protoss up ahead here. And I think Protoss wants him to engage on this low ground. Protoss does not want him to push this high ground straight into the Protoss's natural. So this is kind of cute by Jellymang to even just start luring machine learning up here.
Yeah, I agree. You never want to fight when they come down from the ramp here. You always want to try to fight the open space.
Yeah.
I would say for a game tip, if you're a Protoss and you see this next fight determines pretty much everything right here.
The game here.
Jellymang should know right now, if he wins this next battle, he is pretty much home free. So
good spread still by machine learning. He's got an Arbiter almost up. That's really going to come into play here. Oh, here we go. Ooh, I don't know. Picking off the vessel does Jellymang, but he's coming in here from the west as well. Machine learning, plenty of tanks sieged up, but I think the Zealots are just about to start getting on the tanks here. I'm a little worried. Wow, really good target firing by those tanks, though. We probably should have kept him. You think so? Yeah.
Yep. No, he only had a couple more Dragoons left, and the Zealots were on the tanks. Don't splash damage, just go for it.
Well, we got no third for machine learning, so this is really going to be it. He's got to go. He's going to go now. Yep. Got to win here. Factories are spinning. He's microing these tanks the best he can. But Jellymang might have the rally to do it. The scary part here is not really the gateway count. It's going to be when these arbiters start coming out. Because, on 2 base, machine learning can't have that many scans. He might be able to just delay this with DT and arbiter. Oh, here we go. First scan, moving out. Ooh, that mine really did weaken a bunch of those tanks, didn't it?
Took out like 2 tanks in there, yeah.
Oh, the supplies are evening, though. Even though Jellymang's still on 4 base. Oof. Oh man, it looks like Jellymang's just got it. It was close, but he should be able to overwhelm from here.
The reinforcing, like you said, the Arbiter comes in just too strong.
I say that, and fucking machine learning is just picking off some probes here at the natural, buying some time. He's making the plays, man. He's doing what he can.
Ooh, that arm.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! No! Oh, it hurts.
Oh,
it hurts.
huge mine there from our Terran.
The problem is our Terran has just run out of steam.
I feel like he has to.
Push, he's gonna have to just kind of sit now and try to recover in. With Jellymang on 5 bases, things are becoming a little bit tough.
I've realized that machine learning, we were talking about gas, and he's only had 2 on natural. I'm not sure how long that's been that way.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
really unfortunate here.
I
mean, he's sitting back. He should be able to secure this third here, at least for a little bit. I feel like he's got to get some turrets up. I mean, I'm really worried about any kind of a recall here. Not a single turret at the natural, the main, or the 3rd base here, but that's really got to be one big adjustment here if he wants to live past this mid game.
Yeah, I think for him now, if he's going to really sit in, he's got to sit in extremely hard, mine up all over the main base, put some turrets up so that maybe he'll recall units on it. If I were Jellymang on the other side of this, I think one of the most underdone plays right now is the carrier switch.
Oh, yeah?
In a game like this right now. So I think what happens is the Terran's going to sit here and turtle. I mean, the supply difference right now is massive, but if he actually had some more units behind, like tanks, he didn't get all of his army killed and he went back. Instead of trying to recall into the turrets and knowing he's on 2 gas for so long, the carrier switch, because he can't make Goliaths too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He just can't make Goliaths and tanks, and he's put so much money into infrastructure and units already. There's just no way he could support a Goliath
makes
switch.
Sense.
And it comes in, and once you get like 4 or 5 of those carriers, it just doesn't matter.
Well, Protoss is I think securing his victory or securing his lead here by taking a 6th base at bottom right. That's going to be, you know, I'm not even certain if machine learning knows those bottom right bases exist so far. He might just believe Protoss has been on 4 base this whole time, which could be unfortunate. You know, a base like that going unhindered, just being allowed to mine at the 6 o'clock location is, I mean, it can just win you a game. Like getting away with a free base is, you know, a lot of times will just win you the game. So.
Hidden bases, they're just so tough, and he's doing something now that I really like. He's starting to get like a little bit more vision on the map with the mines, like forcing Protoss to clear them.
Yeah, because Protoss has had a pretty low observer count past that early game. Huge stasis, yes,
Huge stasis
but one thing I would like to see,
just running into these mines, like look how much damage that does to these zealots and goons. I mean.
Yeah,
you know, these guys
lots of shields are gone.
Making it nice for tanks to really just melt them.
Well, we do have an engagement here. Machine learning, just too many tanks, man. He's I like his formation. You know, he keeps everything pretty tight as you want to do with Terran. So like unit placement, pretty good here.
Yeah.
I'd maybe like to see 1 or 2 tanks sieged up at that 3rd base, and definitely 2 more SCVs on that gas at the 3rd, and then you got to keep something in the main, even a single siege tank in the main, just to protect against any kind of cheeky zealot run-bys or, you know, drops that may occur. But other than that, I mean, he's still in this. He's still fighting away.
This is what I was talking about before, right? All of a sudden now he's thrown an army into the Terrans just sitting there. And now all of a sudden it's a little bit closer. 157 to 182 when you're 3-1 versus 0-0-1 or 3-2 now. Like, this is a scary army for this Protoss, even though he's only up like 20 supply. It's a scary army.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, honestly, he's just got to spend that money. He's been spending those extra actions on getting ahead economically. He's just got to reap the rewards of it.
Jellymang right now, I think he definitely needs to group his army. Like, he has like 10, 12 units here, 10, 12 units over there. He's got to get the full bulk of this army together so he can fight this. Good setup here from Machine Learning. Good setup right here. Put the mines so he'll run through.
This looks fucking scary, man. Like, this could be... I don't know, man. This could do it. This is insane. I feel like his army is just so big. Like, maybe Protoss way overproduced. Oh, that's gotta be what it is. Protoss has, I think, too many probes.
He had 59. He has 59 after he lost the whole base. Usually you want around the 70 mark, right around that for a long game.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
BBC 170. I think
he did lose a bunch there, which will help him in a way, actually.
Yeah. You know, I think one thing that got Protoss a little bit stuck is the gateway count. Only 11 gateways this late. Only 11 gateways versus 6, 7 factories. You're up by 4, but with all that money, if you had 7, 8, 9, 10 more gateways, you would just remax instantly. Because now, look, Terran has a supply lead all of a sudden.
Supply lead, and Protoss is still just trickling units into this.
Yeah.
He should just pull everything back. Yeah, it's really great to get into a habit. I feel like just placing a couple gateways at your outermost bases as you expand. You know, on a map like Fighting Spirit, if you take another main, put another 5, 6 gateways in there. Like you'll be able to spend the money, and also another advantage is just the angles at which you can come in. You know, if he had some gateways producing up at that 4th top left, he might have been able to flank some tanks, you know, or gateways vice versa at the 6 o'clock army. He might have been able to use those to pick off any reinforcements. So just little things, you know, little things.
What also hurts at 6 o'clock Machine, if you look down there are 2 full energy arbiters just sitting there.
Oof.
Those are 4 stasis that can really change the way of this game, you know.
They definitely could. I mean, he's still fighting, man. He's hit another stasis on those 4 tanks.
I mean, Terran's
they're plugging away.
It's really one base Terran right now. The problem is he's a little bit trapped here. If I were him, I think I'd go for the Hail Mary. I'd build a ton of zealots. I would just call right on top of all these units and try to get them cleared.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, he needs to just be spinning. I mean, I'm looking at 2 Stargates that aren't spinning. The gateways are, fortunately.
Queued up,
And yeah, okay, he's making a couple gateways, 3 gateways at the bottom of the map now.
So, Machine, I will say that is a problem on this map. It's really hard to find more places to build more gateways.
I believe it.
To make like 2, how the bases are set up. Oh, we had a recall. I missed the recall on the, he used one of those arbiters. Recall on the
natural. Oh, wow. Okay. Still fighting away.
Oh,
ooh, huge mine. That felt a little unlucky there.
It hurts my protosoul.
That felt a little unlucky.
It hurts my protosoul.
Oh man, I almost wonder if you just try to gun for the science vessel and just mass DTs after this. I mean, I feel like
channel my energy 5, but 2 or 3 scouts.
No, a win's a win, bro.
2 or 3 scouts and just pop the vessel and recall on the units. All right, he sees the other base, and here comes the arbiter machine. It's coming in.
Oh boy, wait, where? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, he's going to change his mind. He's going to the third. A lot of
the third's juicier anyway. It's juicier anyway. Come on, hit that recall. Oh, he did it. He did it.
There it is. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Big recall response coming in pretty quick in for machine learning.
Oh, come on. He's not producing out of some of the gateways in his main. He should just be making mass DT Dragoon here.
Yep, you gotta go the Invisible Man, start killing, just kill this vessel and get it in.
This might be enough, man. He looks like he's gonna pick off the command center at the third, thanks to that arbiter.
Terran is running a little low.
He is running a little low. Protoss does have this scout on his last mining base too.
And I have to say, you're right, machine learning has no idea about these 2 bottom bases.
Still, man.
He has no idea. He is like, I'm about to eliminate this player from the game, but he is like rebuilding in these 2 small bases right now. And he's got a pretty healthy probe count of both. And he's adding more gateways.
Man, he should have just recalled that last force in the main. I don't know. Little rough there. Nothing's coming out of this main anymore.
Oh,
I don't think he's
machine, there it is.
Oh,
there it is. 6th man.
Oh my gosh. On the last mining base. He throws his scan down. Does he have any more? Oh, he's got a few more scans. He'll be okay.
Okay, he does. He's got 2 more scans after that. Machine is becoming one of those things where losing even just the SCPs right now is becoming a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. He is not mining, and he is almost out of money. I mean, this force inside the main is still pretty substantial. He's going to kill off pretty much all the tech here in about 2 seconds for Protoss.
He's not scanning machine.
Oh no, he's not. Oh, he got the scan there now.
Okay.
But ooh, that one hurt. Every tank counts, man. Every tank.
In games like this, every unit. All right, he's starting to come down to 6 o'clock now. He's like, there must be something else. Protoss hasn't left the game. Usually a sign of something's going on.
He is not going to be happy.
No, because huge bank for Jelly Mang.
Huge bank.
Huge bank. And
man, Jelly, get your tech up though, bro.
Yeah, Jelly, rebuild those Stargates. Make a scout, man. Make 2 scouts right now.
Yeah, a couple scouts, get that core up, start making Dragoons again. Life will be great.
Yeah, you got to get some Dragoons out so you can't just run through mines. Oh, don't come down here. Don't fight. Build your units. Send a DT to that. No.
He's just attacking because he's just afraid. He's like, oh no, he knows about 6 o'clock. Please don't kill it.
Like you said though, because he has really no vessels, the more times you use DT to make the scans go down, snipe this Protoss. I'm cheering for the Protoss now. Snipe that vessel. The more scans you force out with the no vessels, the better you are, the more the DT are effective.
Oh man, he's got to build a core. Well, he's just not making any tech.
He's not making any units. Oh, the core's down here. It's in 6 o'clock.
Oh, it is. Okay.
He's sniping. Right, yes, snipe that Goliath. No! Snipe. Yes.
What a crazy game.
This is insane. We don't know what's going to... Oh, these mines. Nope.
Oh, none of them connected. Oh man, he's pushing him back. He's pushing him back. Build some Dragoons though, man. Use all your gateways and make Dragoons. You gotta spend money.
Ooh, you got 3K. Yeah, you gotta keep going.
Yeah. I would run all the way back up here and try to save this Stargate too.
Oh,
he's
he
still
might
able
get
to
one
produce
more Arbiter out.
Yeah, he might be able to.
Wow.
So sneaky.
Problem is his SCV count right now. 17. He needs to transfer every SCV he has. He's like 4 or 5 in the main, 6 in the one's trap, but 5 in the main that are available. 6, yeah. Send them up here and get them out, get them going.
Yeah, he's super low eco. Still a pretty sizable force here for machine learning, but I don't know, man. If eventually if he spends 3,000 resources,
there it is. The Arbiter's flying around that 4th base right now.
Oh boy, he's looking for that recall.
I think he's gonna come from the top where there's.
I don't know, man. Machine learning had the the 30-minute turret timing.
He had it up. It took him a little while, but turret is up.
Yep.
I think he just built his eBay right here for the first time like 5 minutes ago. If I'm Jelly Mang, I'm not in a big rush. I saw how many SCVs are there. I have 2 bases. His biggest issue right now is he needs space to build. He needs to get a probe out somewhere to start retaking stuff. He sees with his Arbiter that there's no top left base. He's on 1 base, maybe 2 right now. He's not even mining from it. Oh no! Get away!
Wow,
Arbiter.
he got it out of there at the last second. I think he saved it.
Nope,
barely.
He didn't. It's, but
tearing back up though. Wow, what a game.
What a crazy match. Who knew? I thought this was really one-sided. I thought Jelly Mang was taking this down after he crushed the first army. The machine, I don't want to say it, but the carrier switch.
It would have been good, man.
The carrier, you have the money. Add a core, +1 armor, +1 attack, keep going. Carrier switch, and just run over this army. Oh, the Arbiter has fallen.
I see a fleet beacon. We could get your wish.
Oh my god. Don't fight up this ramp, Jelly Mang. Don't do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it anyway, though.
He's going for it,
Oh, nice D-Matrix there from Machine Learning. That was super clutch. He's got one more. I'd love to see it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, just so many zealots, though.
If you don't know, D-Matrix absorbs 2 million damage.
Oh my god, those mines, that was insane.
Oh my god.
You could tell he was on move command too. Oh man, that was crazy, crazy mine placement. 400 IQ there from machine learning.
I'd like to see him start machine learning to use his other active base. Use all the command centers and build SCVs and use.
I'd also like to see him use the 8 vultures that are at the Protoss Natural. They've just been there.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even see those.
Yeah.
Machine, you are right. Those would probably help with this scenario.
Yeah, they're useful. You know, vultures aren't completely useless. You know.
Oh, I think
they have subterranean nuclear missiles.
Carrier
production.
We're still taking bad fights though.
We're still taking bad fights and we're still not making SCVs. At some point, you got to start recommitting to that econ. And machine learning is just trying to close it out when he maybe should just recognize I need to back up and we need to just try to continue this game. Yeah. I don't think he'll break this. I think Protoss just has too much of a bank, as we know, and he just needs to recognize it, back up, start mining that 3rd base, you know, honestly just scout the carriers and sit. There's just no reason for him to be out on the map anymore.
Yeah, and he has a tank at 12 o'clock and a tank at Protoss 3rd base. And those vultures. If he had all those here fighting right now, I could say he could contain this base and just win. Right, if he just takes contain, it's over for the Protoss as well. First carrier about to be on the map.
And only a single Goliath on the map here for machine learning.
All of a sudden, okay, we made some SCVs. Feeling good about the SCVs being made.
Nice. Okay. Well, he's making the adjustments. He did find the vultures at the Protoss Natural, so that should add to the timing here. Ooh, but Protoss might be playing a little tricky here.
Protoss is about to try to go around. Best idea he's had.
I mean, there's a lot of mines there, though.
No, go up the ramp. Attack the. Oh, he must know the carrier is coming.
I think he does. Wow. Honestly, good trades with the mines again here from machine learning. That was really not bad. He was able to snipe a couple of these Goliaths, though, which are obviously going to be. Oh, he did. Oh man, just too many units. Just what a crazy game. But it seems like Protoss is just breaking out of here once again. Terran producing some SCVs at that third. Is he coming back again? It kind of seems like it.
Those vultures are in use now too. I'm starting to. I am a little concerned for the Terran, but the bank is about to be exhausted for
Protoss, and that's all he's had the whole game. You know, man. Oh man, just the constant pressure here from machine learning. Paying off. This is awesome.
Turn this around. I really thought he was gonna have a lot of trouble with Big Mine, but he's holding on. Came back. 3-2 still. Super strong Terran units.
Super strong, man. Wow. How relentless from machine learning, man. He just hung in this one.
Must be exhausted after this game.
I know I would be.
I would be so tired after playing this PvT.
We got the 2 carriers. You know, Terran's scanning it again. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. You know, like why aren't you popping out with those yet? You should be trying to pick off some Goliaths.
Yeah, he should be coming up. Take as many Goliaths as these mines. Oh,
wow. Oof. Once again, man, that lack of observer really hurting.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was machine learning, I'd be planning every single mine I got. Like.
At this point, you can contain the Protoss just with mines.
Yeah, you really could. He needs to back up with these tanks, though. Yeah. His 2 carriers finally able to go to work. Oof. He needs to recognize that he's got to back up from this point and try to kill off these carriers.
He's killing all the probes, though. He's killing
he is killing all the probes.
Oh, we have
that's
GG.
Wow.
Jelly.
GG.
Wow.
What a game, man.
We have
just Jelly had that the whole game. He was ahead at so many different points, and I mean, obviously machine learning had, you know, some pretty great strengths, and I mean, ultimately just came down to like he was just relentless, just kept in it, you know, played smart even when he was behind. It's tough to do.
Yeah. I agree. What do you think were some of the biggest strengths, since we were trying to help guys out here with learning? What are some strengths and some weaknesses of this game machine? What would you say you would think that were good and things that need to be a little bit better?
I mean, easy things to call out for each player. Jellymang's macro, like, man, the rate at which he expanded, the amount of probes he had per base, like the spending attention to detail and saturation, minus the natural gas, which happens, you know, especially if you're in like a high pressure match. He was just on point with that like aggressive expansion. Early goon control was good for Jellymang. He really put himself ahead there too. So yeah, I'd say those were definitely his strengths. For machine learning, it was like unit placement. Every one of those fights, I was kind of looking at it, I'm like, man, Jellymang's up by 50 supply, but like, I don't know if he can actually attack into this. You know, we were kind of giving him a little bit of crap for pushing from 12 o'clock instead of the high ground, but it actually ended up being great because he was able to lock those bases off and like, you know, kill off the economy from there and still kind of trap the Protoss inside his main. So yeah, great play from machine learning there too. So, you know, definitely their biggest strengths that I could see.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Protoss made a great decision to double expo early, noticing that there was Goliath pressure, siege mode, kind of the Terran was just kind of sitting in. So I think taking the second expansion right away and just taking the third and just kind of just going for it with the macro game was definitely a great decision. I would have loved to seen from the Protoss side a couple more gateways and making sure that those arbiters are in use, like making sure
are those gateways in the main, or are you thinking like more like on the outer expansions, or does it matter?
I think on Eclipse it doesn't matter as much. Maybe where the 4th base was, you can add some just to have like a bigger building area, but even just in the main and having them rallied out, I think what really cost Jellymang though, after playing so well, was not having his army all as one. Like having like 12 zealots and a couple dragoons here, 12 zealots, a couple dragoons there. Like he needed to fight that Terran army as one because he played such a great early and mid game. Like he was really strong, macroed really well, like you said, made good decisions. It just came down to that late game, which late game PvT is not easy versus a 3-3 mech army coming at you. But if he could have just pulled those things together, I think it would have been his game for sure. But
Yeah. Couple other things I just want to mention for each player. I know Jellymang just uh observer count was pretty low. Like it's okay. You don't have to
very low.
have like, an observer with like, every area of the map on every base. Like that's absurd. But having like a few, obviously always one with your army, once you have Robotech up, and then maybe just ahead, it would have I don't think machine learning would have gotten back in that game. If the mines hadn't started trading so efficiently late game. And then
Yeah.
what was the other one I was gonna say? Uh, yeah, that's all I could think of for yeah, Jellymang. But machine learning, big thing I noticed is like once you lose SCVs at a base, you just gotta like remake them. That was, I
Yeah.
think, something that happened multiple times. Not only when you pulled the SCVs from the main to protect the natural. If he was at very low saturation at main for quite some time. It looked like he was just paying attention to producing SCVs at the natural. And then another thing is like, yeah, once again, once he lost the third base, eventually you got to say, I need to retake this base and I need to spend
Yeah.
the resources there versus queuing up a few more vultures. And then once you have that command center there, especially like you need to be queuing up SCVs if you're under a low saturation. And I think he would have pulled himself back into the game a little quicker. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, just
Um,
having those, I could totally get what you're saying there for sure. But overall, hey, he got it done. He did what he had to do, and he comes out with the win in this preseason preseason matchup. So, Machine, we're gonna switch into your realm a little more than mine. Okay, we
okay.
got a I have a ZBT up here
Oh
for us
boy.
to see, so you can kind of tell us the same. What do you think about ZBT on Eclipse?
Eclipse.
Yeah.
Oh man. ZVT probably my favorite matchup. I don't want to say it's like my best or anything, but like it's just a fun matchup to watch in general. I think most people would agree it's one of the more like faster pace matchups. Like you know, Terran needs to be paying attention to their Marines constantly once they're in mid game. Meanwhile, Zerg, obviously, mutas are the key to ZVT mid game, even into late game and beyond. Um, when I think of Eclipse specifically ZVT, personally, there are advantages and disadvantages, but it's not one of my favorite to play. I wouldn't necessarily pick it as a top pick in a tournament just because the way Zerg goes early game Zergling, mid game Muta, get your lurkers up, defend your natural, defend your third, defend your fourth, uh, and eventually you need Nidus and you need Defiler late game in order to both secure and protect your bases. And a base, a third base like on Eclipse that doesn't lead directly into a natural is just a disadvantage for a Zerg because it is just absolutely harder to hold a fourth base um, when you're not able to like Nidus from your natural constantly. So it requires a little more forethought and expansion, and honestly, some a little more difficult control. But it is obviously possible. Like Eclipse isn't imbalanced for ZVT, but it's
Okay.
like, yeah, it's complicated. Yeah.
Definitely tougher.
Um,
Now, how do you feel the bases? I know that some Terran players don't like starting bottom left because of muta harass above the mineral.
yeah. It's a great map for Muta because of that high ground above the natural. Even just like in between the third and the main. Um, I I don't mind so much bottom or top. Zerg's gonna open Muta either side either way.
Okay.
Um, so I do like it for Muta though. It is good. Yeah.
Okay. So you
especially the mid game like fights where you're trying to pick off Marines in the center of the map. It can be very good for that. Um, the only other unique thing to say is like as a Zerg, if you can hold that double gas base top left as a third, like you're in such a good advantage. You're able to basically just tech both Defiler and Ultra immediately, and you can really just run Terrans over if you're able to hold it. Not the easiest to do with two entrances, but you can do it.
Oh man, so I got to call attention to the chat. Mr. G5 coming in talking about my public display of affection T-shirt. This is the soccer club that I work for. It stands for Players Development Academy, but it would be public display of affection for you, G5, and just for you. Maybe a little for Ryan as well. But all right,
Yeah,
we
maybe a
ready?
little bit of love for Eric and Ryan. It's not just let's eat trash. It's picture of a possum. Let me see if I can get this in here. Let's eat trash and get hit by a car. Oh, I don't think
uh,
is my camera popping up. I think it's frozen.
you keep
Shoot,
freezing in the stream here? Oh
I keep
no.
freezing, bro. I keep freezing.
Why do you freeze in the stream? You shouldn't. What's going on here?
Uh,
All right, let's get into this
it's all
game
good.
so we
Yeah,
can
let's get
show
into this
some
game.
public displays of affection to the players, and hopefully no one eats trash in the process.
I
Here we go.
had to wear my special shirt for the cast, bro.
Of
You know.
course. Of course. All
All
right.
right. Look. Looks like we have spawning in the top right as the white Zerg player, me Bojack.
And then in the bottom left, your man, Machine Learning, back for game number 2 here for this TVZ.
Boy, if there's one thing we learned from last game, we can't count out machine learning.
Cannot.
I mean, he was dead that whole game, dude. And I was like, okay, like I remember thinking the game was over, and then looking at the replay timer, was like, no, we're only halfway, bro.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, there's no way. Like he lost that first attack. Like things were such a struggle, but he battled back. He battled back.
He did, man. Relentless. He was just like, nope, you're gonna make me leave. Like,
You will eliminate every building before I'm out of this game. No way.
yeah.
Now,
Yep.
is 8 racks a threat on this map?
Oh yeah, any two-player map, Zerg vs Terran.
Okay.
You know, if you can spare it, you definitely need to be scouting with a drone.
Okay.
I scout on two-player maps with a drone. You know, even knowing that Overlord will get there at a sensible enough timing that you can scout out most basic like standard builds. But yeah, definitely you want to be drone scouting and making sure your opponent's not going to open 8 racks on this map. Because it happens, man. I lose to it all the time.
I believe it. I believe it. It happens. That's tough builds. All right. It seems like we have a 12 hatch coming in right now from Bojack.
Yeah, we got a 12 hatch coming in from Bojack. He's which is standard. You always, it's the most standard build. There are obviously hatcheries on other timings, but most Zergs open 12 hatch Zerg versus Terran. If he's opening 2 hatch, which he might be, his pool will be on 11 here, which it looks like it's going to be.
Yes, it is.
And then there should be a gas right after this. Yep.
There it is.
So this is very, very standard. Zerg versus Terran, which is 2 hatch Muta ZVT.
Okay.
Very, very difficult to
open up with the
execute.
gas first here, so we're gonna see some sort of tech play.
Yeah. So I mean, Bojack's got to be happy that he sent that drone out to go scout this, because this could definitely catch someone off guard and have them lose the game. So he does scout the refinery there. Basically, as a Zerg player, what that cues off is, okay, I need to absolutely make sure I get a sunken at my natural, no matter what. One Vulture, if the Terran has good enough control, will kill infinite slow Zerglings and all your drones and end the game.
Okay.
So you absolutely need to get a sunken. What that also cues off for me, though, is I know now, Zerg player knows now that they have a choice to make. You can open Hydralisk against mech completely fine. Or would you choose to open the standard Muta? Most players will open that Muta, but Hydra is now an option. Hydra are afraid of bio. They do not care about mech, though. They'll eat them.
Okay. So, do you think it's concerning, though, for the factory and the Wraith timing to get those Muta up? Like, will the Muta beat the Wraith? if he decides to go Fac Wraith or 2-port after.
It won't beat the Wraith, but you should, if you pull your Overlords back in the proper timing, be able to get out 5 or 6 muta before you're supply blocked, and 100% you will have map control against Wraith opening. After that, like Wraith cannot fight muta, straight up. Until they get cloak or something like that. That's very not typical though. Most Terrans will actually open either a 1-1-1 variation, which is where you switch into mech for these early vultures, and then you kind of go in tank, a little bit of bio, and get a very fast vessel, which can be very scary. But we don't really know yet.
Okay. Terran actually expanded.
Yeah, Terran did expand. Yeah, Terran always expands in this matchup. One base mech is definitely not a thing.
I thought he would at least build a starport and kind of harass a little bit there, but he's getting an armory up and an add-on plus an expansion.
Yeah, this looks like 1-1-1. From here, he's going to have map control with this vulture. He's eventually going to need to get out enough. That's an armory actually.
It's an armory,
so this is mech.
Yeah, so Goliath build.
Yep, he'll be opening Goliath.
Is that the standard or is it 2-fac?
It's usually 4 or 5 fact, but he's going to open with 2 just right off the bat.
Okay.
Yep. So 2, he'll start spinning this armory here in a second. His natural is up, ready for that SCV transfer. Meanwhile, Zerg put down a 3rd hatchery at the natural. This is pretty common. He's trying to help wall off in case Terran decide to open 3 vultures and try to run by, pick off some drones, which we won't be seeing. So from here, it looks like it's pretty standard muta opener. He'll get somewhere between about 6-7 mutas, 8 mutas, and then he'll assess with those mutas to see, is Terran going to 1-1-1? Is this a mech opening? What exactly is going on? Should I be making more muta? Should I be teching Hydra instead? And actually, he's throwing down a Hydra Den in the main as we speak. It's great. There's no reason not to have one. It's a relatively small investment, 100 gas, a drone, or 100 minerals, 50 gas, a drone. It's fine. And now if Terran even scans that, he has to be thinking about Lurker tech, thinking about Hydra tech, and he could switch over. One big mistake here from Bojack has not been mine this gas at the natural, but as I say that,
intentional
I just put
intentional or was
no,
it's
late.
Definitely an error. Okay.
Yeah, definitely an error, but it's okay. Happens.
It happens.
We got 4. You missed stuff. I mean, I definitely missed stuff. I'll tell you that. We got Terran or Zerg trying to do some harass here. Backed up, I think, a little too soon. It's funny. He engaged the one area that actually has defense. Meanwhile, no turrets or Goliaths in the main, so I would have liked to see him sweep around and try to engage that main a little bit, but it's fine. Not a big deal.
I will say I've seen many times when the muta get back, like behind this mineral line, it is very hard for the Terran units to actually walk back here. The Goliaths may have a little more range, it seems like, what I've seen Bio do it, and they just get all messed up in their AI trying to get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Great move control there from Zerg. He is supply blocked, unfortunately, because of that Overlord over the natural. He actually made 2 Evos in the main. Honestly, I'm not a fan against mech specifically. Mech really, you don't benefit much from your carapace at all. I think it doesn't really kick in any advantage until 2 carapace, and then 3 is like kind of negligible unless you're talking about ultras and stuff. So yeah, probably would have been better spending the gas on either more muta or an earlier hive or something, but it's not the biggest mistake.
The Queen's Nest is going as well in the main.
Yeah, some like to go quick hive. I think he's misreading this build though. Zerg basically cannot stop the 2-base Goliath timing with just without basically producing a lot of Hydra, a lot of muta, and you really shouldn't be spending the resources on things like hive tech until you shut this build down.
Okay. Could you have stayed on
That's
Muta and just got the Carapace armor for the Muta?
Yeah, absolutely. I typically open Muta against Goliath,
Okay.
and then you can mix in Zergling, just heavy Zergling, or get +1 range attack Hydralisk. So we do see Hydras here, which will be fine against these Goliaths. It's probably a good call.
He droned up
The
pretty
other
well.
thing is, he did drone up pretty well. The other thing is,
Maybe saturation.
yeah,
Though.
Sunkens. If you get like one Sunken stops so many Goliaths. They're really bad against Sunkens. So yeah, he definitely needs to drone that third a little more. He's gonna get these Sunkens up in time, which basically means this will go into the next stage of the game. Terran has to recognize he cannot kill Zerg now, and he'll need to back up and start taking a third. Machine learning, not the best drone SCV count, but
Yeah,
I guess
it's
production. Full saturation.
Um,
Yeah.
He might be just going for another 2-base timing attack. Maybe that's why he stopped at like 40-ish again. Not to
Yeah, I mean it is definitely a 2-base timing attack when you do this. Oh, it looks like he's researching Siege and starting to produce some tanks. Oh, he's got all these Hydras kind of trapped up here. I actually think he should take that fight. I think he should wait for this rally of Goliath from his natural and
go up.
He should have just popped up there and killed those. Yeah, he just would have been able to overwhelm him. You're really just looking for any kind of trade, and I mean, machine learning just did a 2-base timing that's meant to do damage, and it didn't do anything. So I feel like he at least should have maybe tried to pick off some of those Hydralisks there at 6.
Now, is it a mistake for machine learning not to be taking a third? I feel like he should have tried, because he has map control, he should have started to start that third earlier to try to secure that next round of gas.
I definitely believe so. Once he committed to backing up, I think he should have then committed to taking a third. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. He's got a sizable force. It looks like what he's just going to do is continue the timing. He's making a bunch of vultures, and he's just going to rally outside the Zerg's natural again. I mean, this is a sizable force. It could get it done. It really could.
Well, we know what happens when he pushes out. Even if he loses the first force, he's okay. He'll lay mines, and he will come back again.
Yeah, he will lay mines and come back again. That's for sure.
Just re-roll the dice. He's ready.
I think he's called this correctly, actually. He's scanned, has seen that or he didn't scan, but he's scouted the Muta count being really low, and he just full stop production on Goliath and started up a lot of vultures, added that second add-on, and he's getting machine shop for both speed and mines, and he's just going to hit another timing here.
We have queens on the map.
Ooh, queens are great at Zerg versus Terran. So he's not even going to Hive Tech. Basically, the standard way to play late game ZVT versus Mech is you get one or two groups of queens with Broodling, and you just start popping siege tanks with Broodling. And eventually, over time, they're just going to be way more efficient than every other unit. If you can
using energy, and they're just losing units.
Yep, absolutely.
It's funny, queens were like never used. Remember, queens were never used back in the day.
It was pretty rare. It started catching on 2010, 2009, I want to say. But yeah, it definitely wasn't a thing for a long time.
That slow other units. Like, this doesn't help at all. And now they are hot amongst the scene.
They definitely are. Wow, quite a few Hydralisks coming out here from Bojack. Moving on to that high ground, I don't think he's aware that he's going to be engaging machine learning here. Machine learning, meanwhile, great mine placement up on that high ground. He's trying to protect against any kind of a counter, and oh no, Bojack might be out of position here.
Bojack is very out of position.
Ooh, melted by those tanks. Just melted. I mean, relatively pretty decent reaction time. He didn't lose the entire force.
But counter into the minefield.
Ooh, Hydra's pretty good in large numbers of dealing with mines, though. It doesn't seem to be a problem here. Machine Learning's gonna back up, wait for a couple more tanks, and then push this high ground here. Ooh, big siege. He doesn't care that it's high ground. He's like, I'm mech, bro.
He is mech, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
Siege tanks do not care about Hydras.
So I will say that machine learning in both games has been pretty on his macro. I mean, he has a couple units queued up in one of the factories, but that's what's making these pushes just so strong. His macro's been pretty good, very strong. And up on the upgrades, 1-1 right now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Zerg still has not been mining that gas at the third. Base hasn't been saturated. You know, you want to have good 12, 14 drones on minerals, I'd guess, per base, especially by the 13-minute mark. You know, if he got some miracle queen broodlings off, he could still take this, but I don't like the engaging without the broodlings, though. I really think if he had broodling first,
and he has the energy.
Yeah, definitely does.
If you send those eight queens in, he'd kill all these tanks already, and then he could have won with the Hydra. He should have won queens first, Hydra second.
Super low Goliath count here, though, from our Terran. I almost would have liked to see a Muta switch. Even 5 Muta would clean this up. Well, we do see the broodlings coming out for our Zerg, Bojack, but might be a little too late. He should, you know, looks like he's making another round of units here from all of his hatcheries. The rally might be enough to clean up these tanks, but man, 1-1 tanks. He's had a good amount of them. You know, just really kept on top of his units and made it pretty difficult for the Zerg here.
And the third, it's looking good for him. Shooting looks like he's gonna take down another one. Be in control of this group.
I think you're right, man. He's looking to be the favorite so far. Oof.
Oh, here are the Muta that he had. He actually had the same Muta on the map. He forgot about them.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see these a little earlier. Even though they're unupgraded, still doing great damage to these siege tanks. Yep. Vultures have cleared up all the mining from the main here for the Zerg. It's just one, you know, semi-mining base here left for Bojack. Meanwhile, machine learning finally taking that third, getting that saturated, taking all the little steps in the right direction he needs to close this one out. And GG. Wow.
GG. I lost you on stream here. I had to try to get you back.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get you back.
Am I back, bro?
I don't know. I'm gonna try right now. We're gonna put this on, and I'm gonna try to get you window captured on here. So not interesting stuff right there. I thought it went pretty well for both as the game started, but it just seemed that no use of the queens really was was something that really hurt him there. He probably needed that before he engaged with the Hydra. I wonder if he thought that he needed to kill some of the Goliaths first to get the queens in, or he just forgot about the queens.
I think he was typically what you're afraid of there is you kind of have to do everything at once, and the reason being, Terran's going to be so Goliath heavy. If you just try to fly in with, you know, a queen, try to snipe the tank that's usually at the back of the forest, a lot of the times you could just lose the queen. So yeah, he just needed to be a little bit more together with that attack, make it a little more simultaneous, and it would have been better. It almost would have been better just like 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A with the Hydras, and then spend the time he needed just to control the queens. But you know, so it goes. He still did a good job, and yeah, it was fun.
It was a good game.
So,
Eclipse, interesting map for, like you said, I think for that. Mech or bio? I don't know. Is that what do you prefer to see when you're
I never prefer. I never prefer to see bio, but that's just because I have nightmares from Rhett and Nesh about bio. So, you know, mech can be very tough, but just a personal thing. Bio is just so strong, so volatile, especially early game. It's easier to close a game out with than mech, just because it's a little bit quicker, a little bit more, you know, mobile, reactive. But yeah, that being said, Eclipse is great for mech too. Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good. All right. So for this next one, we'll bring it in the boss himself. We're gonna have Snipe up here versus Bojack, and it's gonna be a PVZ, so a matchup that we are both familiar with for sure.
We definitely are. Yeah.
Definitely familiar with. How do you feel about ZVP Eclipse?
It's a good map for ZVP. You know, you run all the same uh like problems you run into with any other two-player map as far as like proxy gate possibilities, and usually you're open overpool against Protoss, but everything else about it, there's great ways for Zerg to engage, pretty simple scout patterns. You know, that double gas base, if you can hold it against Protoss, is you know, just such a strong tactic that I feel like if that it favors Zerg versus Protoss on this map personally. Yeah, it's just a great map, honestly. One of my favorites from the new season.
Yeah, I used at the beginning. I was like, oh, two-player map, really great for PvZ. Like split it up, chop it up, and then we can go from there. But as time went on, it became harder and harder because it seemed like things changed where Zerg started doing, where they kind of just moved their army to mirror yours and block the ramps. As they blocked the ramps, it was harder for the Protoss to kind of push through and get anywhere effective. And next thing you knew, you were facing drops and lurkers on ramps and ledges, and it became harder and harder. Uh, the other problem is if you do like an early push and it's not successful and you get pushed back, the lurker contain on these bases is so hard to get out of your natural. It is so
Oh yeah.
tight to come out into the lurker fields. It is like just so difficult. Um, so I
And
think
also just the distance between naturals doesn't seem that far, so that like if Zerg is allowed to set up there, like you just flood it. You just rally everything there. It's not that far away. It's pretty equidistant between all your bases, like, and you can just hold. Yeah.
and the counterattack is always a threat. You know, the counterattack is always hard. You move up top to the left in the middle. Next thing you know, units are coming in your natural and you're trying to scurry back because you really just can't be trading. You know, Zerg's trading their fourth for your third is a big plus. You know, they can just sit there and let your mine out. So I think definitely something that's difficult as well is fighting on all the different locations. So definitely interesting. We'll see what happens. I think the biggest choice as this matchup starts, will the Protoss start with a gateway opening or a forge opening? That will, I think, determine the pace of some of this game right away.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
I think that we'll see. So we have Snipe versus Bojack, the Zerg we just saw. So we are going to start up that game right now. You're in it. Fantastic.
Let's do it.
I'm going to drop the.
All right. And spawning as the yellow Zerg in top right, we have once again Bojack.
Bojack. And then we have the boss himself, Mr. Snipe, in the bottom left, the green Protoss. All right, let me get Snipe off the screen. There we go. Okay. So we shall see. Two-player map, ZVP, overpool.
Yeah, I think that's the only answer. I mean, not the only answer, but it's the most middle of the road, safe, standard. I don't like opening hatch first on any two-player map, just because, man, there's no worse feeling than going 12 hatch or 11 hatch, and you think like, oh, the probe hasn't been in my main yet, you know, I'm gonna sneak it down here, and then there's a probe waiting at the natural to block it, and then you're like, well, do I put down a pool? Do I try to actually just micro this like drone against the probe? And it's just a headache. It
Yeah,
really is. So
I'm positive. So we see that Snipe is sending his probe already up, so that would indicate that usually it's going to be a forward opening, right? You don't keep the probe back to build the gateway. I mean, you have to build the gateway, so you send you waiting for 13 or 11. You can choose which build you're going to go with, and you can put down your forge or nexus.
got it. So you're saying he won't be going gateway?
No, he would. I don't think he will be going gateway. He should be going a forge right here, right next to
All
the A.
right.
Yep, forge next to the A. Got 11, and then he'll do a 13 cannon, 13 nexus, depending on the build of the Zerg. If it's overpool, you can sometimes get away with getting the nexus first. If it's 9-pool, you want to throw down your cannons.
Well, as we predicted, overpull from the Zerg. He's sending his drones down here. He's doing his best to maybe take his own natural. Protoss looks to just be
He let
giving
him
it
get
up.
it. Yeah, he
Let him
have
get it. Yeah, it's very nice of him.
Yeah. He went early enough. He could have went in and seen what the build was and then blocked. I do agree you
Yeah,
have to go in. I know some people are like, oh, stay there, block. What worries me is I've had Zerg that send the drone out and you sit there and block it, and they made a 9 pool or a 5 pool behind, and then they're making lings and you went Nexus first, and you're like, oh no.
yeah, of course. You definitely want to, like, the safe bet is scouting the pool timing and knowing for sure. Agreed. Yeah,
So he sees only 2 Zerglings, so he should be feeling very safe. He could be able to put up his gateway, and he should be able to just get the gas next, and he'll be fine. Because he went the Nexus first, you actually can skip the second pylon a lot of the times because this will warp up in time before you get your 17 probe.
we have the gas going down the main at the 2:45 timer mark, which is spot on to be able to defend any kind of Corsair with early Scourge play. So I'm assuming this is obviously going to be quick Spire tech. Oh, if he gets those drones on that gas, there we go. Out of our Zerg player, he's got his third hatchery down. He's honestly in a great spot. He's only running on 2 lings with the rest drones, so I mean he's really maximizing what he can get out of his economy for this point in the game. Like he's doing all the right things.
Yeah. Furnace good transfer, 6 probes. Getting up his gas. Should be throwing down his core now that his gateway's up.
There we go.
Gotta get those probes there. Good. Probes throwing gas. Then I guess this becomes the next decision for Protoss, right? He's going to scout the lair, so usually you have to respect the lair tech and you have to hit a Stargate. Could do the double Stargate. If you do that, definitely more micro intense, definitely harder. You know, a build that I have a hard time with. Just trying doing the 2 Stargate, get the Sairs out, get them all over. You have to do some damage with them. Or you could, if you didn't see the lair and you just wanted to go right into a Citadel, +1 speed timing, that would be okay too. Second gas, so it seems like it's going to be more of a Sair Zealot +1 opening.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. We got 4 more Zerglings out from our Zerg. That third base is up, not quite mining yet, but these lings should be able to clear out that probe once he gets speed. Actually, they're just going to kill it now. Spire down immediately as the lair completes for the Zerg. So, I mean, he's chilling here. He's got his safety net of Zerglings. He shouldn't be too concerned of any DK Zealot timing that may hit. He really just needs to focus on hitting those Overlords now and producing as many drones as he can for his third base.
One thing I liked that Snipe did was he didn't build the Zealot. He kept building his infrastructure and not cutting any probes because he saw there were only 2 lings on the map and the other 4 were chasing up here. So there really wasn't a threat of having a ling all in because he had his probe up here, he was scouting around, he was able to see that he didn't need more Zealots to make them wall or cannons. So I think that's always the biggest thing, right? PvZ, you need information. The more information you have, the better off you are in terms of not dying to the Hydra bust or a ling all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, hatches 4 and 5 going down, so it's either going to be a 5 or 6 hatch play.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 5. I guess 5 here. We'll see. Just can't really tell this early, but Hydroden also going down for the natural. Drone count's a little low in the main, not full saturation in the main. We got 8, or 7. Yeah, 8 on minerals, 5 on minerals at the natural. Maybe a little bit of an over transfer to that third. But either way, you should be able to fix that saturation and go from there.
So important with the first Sair, send it to the base, right? You want to see what's going on. A lot of times you want to run to the natural, see what the gas is like, the gas timing. If he already has been mining from a gas with 3 drones on it, like that usually indicates some type of view to play. He went right into the main, he saw that there was a Spire, he kind of flew right back to stay alive, which is fine, but I think that's also a good scout. Go to the main, come down, check the natural, see if there's a second gas for Muta or not. And then even go to the third, see how many hatcheries you're dealing with. Is it 5, is it 6, is it 4? What's that Hydra timing going to be to your base?
Yeah, like you said, that natural gas timing for a Zerg is key. You know, even if you don't scout the third, you really want to make sure your opponent's not opening Yuta, and you want to know that if they are, you want to know in time to be able to adjust. So we had 6 Scourge coming out here for Bojack. I typically like seeing just 4 until you really know if your opponent's committed to Corsair, but 6 is fine. Not the biggest deal. He's starting a Hydro Pump a little bit, just needs to fix that saturation slightly, and I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. I don't believe he has Hydra Speed yet. He really needs. There we go. We have range attack upgrade going out. He is getting that +1 range attack. That's very standard for Hydralisk. In order to really be able to do extra damage to these units we have coming in. Zealot coming out with, or Protoss coming out with a Zealot timing here in the natural. Not a ton of Hydras. Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, as you said, like +1 is really the key upgrade for Zealots against Zerglings. Forcing, you know, being able to just 2-shot Zerglings as opposed to 3-shot is huge in their efficiency and just being able to clear bases. So Bojack's macro kind of stalling here a little bit mid-fight. Really needs to run through those hatcheries and produce some more Hydralisk here. Seems to be
very good here. Results. Any new damage, you're not going to make any many that you can
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, like you said, really did manage to get a lot of work done.
Okay. Waiting for the gateway explosion. This is where the Protoss has to make a decision. Do I want to add 6 more gateways on here and go for a big ball? Or am I going to go for 6 gateways in an expansion? Like add 4 or 5 more and just go for an expand. Because you're floating 1,000 mineral. That's what the time is for. What are you going to add on?
Do you have a preference?
I do like to go to the 8 gates and put the pressure on. Play it out that way. If I know that the Zerg is going like 6 hatch, just straight macro, I might do the 6 gateway and take an expansion because I know that the fights in the middle are going to be very difficult. Because if I can get the 3 base and they're stuck on 3 base because they went 6 hatch, I'll fight once they go to their 4th, and then add a little harassment in there as well.
Well, almost on cue. We see our Protoss has dropped a lot more gateways here. Should be able to pump out those units and put on that additional pressure, as you've been mentioning. Meanwhile, Zerg still a little low on drones. At the natural, we got 5 on minerals here, I think. Main's a little low as well. He's got to fix that if he wants to continue being in this game, I think. Eventually, the Protoss's economy is just going to be a little too efficient for him. So I'd really like to see him correct that, but still, very sizable Hydra count. You know, it's also about the point in the game where Zerg should be looking to think about putting down a 4th, not necessarily preparing to drone it, but until he scouts out what the Protoss is doing, you really want to make sure you're kind of starting that base as quickly as possible in order to kind of put yourself in a advantageous position.
What do you think? Should he have added the 6 hatchery? He's floating a lot of mineral.
Yeah, I think the 6 hatchery might have helped for sure. Yeah, I do. Or even just this 4th here. Because yes, he's definitely floating too many minerals. It's never a bad idea, you know, even if it doesn't make sense to drop like a 7th, you know, 6th, 7th, maybe an 8th hatchery at times if you're really floating the cash. A lot of times you really just want to be spending this money as quickly as possible. It obviously it's not true, but like it almost doesn't matter quite as much whether it's units or drones as long as you're making that decision constantly. You know, you're not really going to be punished for it if you're playing appropriately.
Yeah,
spend that money.
They're going up to +3 and +1. I will say a little bit has changed in PvZ. Some Protoss, I know I do this now myself because of all the Hydra pressure. +2 Hydra attack melts goons, so it's usually a lot of some Protoss are now going +1 attack, +1 armor, +2 armor to help fight in these big fights, so that their units can last longer and sustain.
Yeah.
Fights.
Absolutely. I think it's a big key against lurker play for sure. So we do have our first big engagement in the mid game going on. Protoss attacking up this ramp. Templar are pretty far behind. Meanwhile, Zerg has a whole group of Hydros sitting in the back as well. Ooh, good storm dodge out of the first one. Ooh, but it's just not quite enough here. Ooh, man. I mean, if he had that extra group of Hydras up that ramp, you know, who knows? He might have been able to pick off a few more Dragoons there or something. Man, Protoss just steaming in here. This looks to be pretty tough for Bojack to hold. Yeah, look at those high Templars. Oh my gosh, full health. This is going to be a highlight reel right here. Ooh, okay, some of the... Not getting them off. Yeah, a lot of these Templars still with Storms. Not quite finishing. Ooh, a little bit of a miss micro there, but he does have a couple Storms left. Seems to be rallying from his natural pretty quickly. Ooh, he's got to fix the rallies of those gateways on his main though. But he's slowly trucking on. Ooh, targeting the Hydroden here at the Zerg natural. That would be a pretty nice pickup, being able to stop all this Hydros production at this point. GG. Wow.
GG. Strong PVZ action. Strong PVZ action there.
Yeah, very strong from Laser Snipe. Man, really well played.
Very well played. For me, I think the Zerg needed to get some overlords on the map so that he could be able to see when the army was coming and maybe try to pick some of the Hydra. I mean, some of the Templars with the Hydra. Like if he could have gotten some things like little groups out and just started knocking them off, it would have helped him just tremendously in the fight, especially because they were so far behind the army.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think really detecting and like vision was kind of the biggest mistake here from Bojack. He had lurker upgrade for that last timing, and he had it well in advance. You know, if he, while that Hydra fight was going up on the high ground, you know, and he got a pretty decent trade, if he was just morphing like 4 or 5 lurkers at the natural there, maybe put up a spore, you know, to pick off the observer or something like that, you know, you'd be surprised. Zerg can hold pretty well, but without those, you know, resources spent on lurkers, it was just very tough. It came down to basically Protoss having to just hit their storms, and you know, Laser Snipe had tons of storm. You know, those High Templar, like you said, were just full energy. So it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough for Bojack there to really be able to deal. But I think he could have possibly held on if he had, you know, spent the resources on Lurker.
I agree. It was definitely would have helped out. Even, you know what, I always like, and I always use the Muta switch too, knowing that he's coming out with like mostly Gateway Zelagoon, 6-7 Muta, just fly in there and pop, take off take off all the different Templar out. All right, Machine, we got one more in us. How about we get a finale?
Yeah.
We'll get one more of these group games in, and then we'll have to do a part 2 with some of these matches. How about we get oh, Amazon Court, thank you for the donation, man. We really appreciate that. And it's our pleasure casting. We're having a great time. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's been fun.
So how about we get, actually, I was gonna say, how about we get a Laser Snipe and our man, he was Machine Learning. It says Amazon Core SC, and now it says he's S&P 500. Are you this? That's the same player?
Is that the same player?
Are you the same player? Because it has.
It's another Eclipse game.
Yes. Same group, same map. I think every map has been Eclipse, but it.
Same ID? Huh. Maybe it is him.
So it was submitted with it says same guy. Snipe says the same guy. All right, so I guess we'll maybe that will be our little cast. We'll have to do a part 2, and we'll give some tips. I'm excited to see what these guys have to offer here.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see my boy Machine.
We're keeping him as Machine Learning. He's now Machine Learning.
Yeah, he's now Machine Learning. Yeah, he hasn't lost yet.
No, he
He's
hasn't.
2-0, man.
I know he's
Yep.
crushing it. He is doing his thing. So we're gonna put this matchup on the thing, and then we're gonna today's match. We got this guy, boop and boop. Snipe first machine learning. Back to the PVT. It should be interesting if it's the same as our last one. Will it be a 7-fact push to 1 timing push, or will we see something a little mix up? Maybe a little bit
DT
of
drop. That's my call. That's
ooh
what we're gonna
DT
see here.
drop. DT drop.
Yeah, it's a strong play.
The strong DT drop into the speed shuttle Reaver. I don't know. I think
If it gets that far.
I,
I'm just kidding.
man, I hope that we see a little zealot pressure. You know, I love the zealot pressure. So
Yeah, man, just running by those bunkers.
I would love to see a little zealot pressure early, really getting after it and saying, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to hurt you early. I want to put you on the leg down on you here. So I think that'd be fantastic. Really get those zealots right by. All right, and we're gonna keep him as machine learning. All right, here we go. We're gonna jump into our game right now. The match screen,
All right.
match screen down. And here we go. All right. All right, it's your boy, top right. Machine
All right.
learning now.
Spawning as the orange Terran. Yeah, S&P 500. Okay, different name, but this is machine learning here. Huh?
I like it. I like it. Okay, and the bottom left, laser snipe. The boss, El Jefe, the one, the only, the man himself, coming back strong.
2 winners going head to head.
Yeah, these guys seem like they're going to be top of the group so far with all the wins they have. And we have machine learning coming out with another forward barracks.
Smart. You know, like you were saying before, I think he just kind of planned this. He's like, 2-player map. My gas could get stolen. Let's just put the barracks on the low ground and call it a day.
Yeah,
it's smart. I like it.
Block the outside, get after it, go for it. Why not?
Meanwhile, from the Protoss, we got the gateway. We just got a core going down. He's buying that gas for the first time in this game. No probe scout.
We do have a zealot.
No probe scout. What do you think of that?
Some Protoss like to play the blind man's Protoss. They do like that, where they don't scout and they go like a 23 Nexus, 21 Nexus. I like to get the probe out there. I like to see what's going on. I want to see how.
Does the zealot maybe serve the same purpose?
It definitely will. Definitely will. My biggest fear, maybe it's just because a ladder and everything, but if you put 2 barracks down like right over here, and just start marching Marines in, and I have no idea like there was nothing up here. I like to know the early information, like a popular response that I do to the gasless expand is I will build a proxy robo and slow walk my Reaver up, bash the bunker in.
Got it. Okay.
Like, I like to know what I'm up against pretty early, so I can kind of say, okay, because he would need to have a probe already on the move up here to like build robo somewhere.
It's not quite a wall off there from that barracks. We almost have the bunker coming in. Oh, he's maneuvering it around the other side of the bunker. Ooh, smart play there.
Okay, good, yeah. This is what you do now. You run away. You try to pick this SCV. Oh, don't freeze. Protoss unit's not the smartest.
Wow. Oh. Not bad by machine learning. That control there was not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, that was nice. That is not easy to do against early zealot pressure.
That was well done, machine learning.
Yep.
Oh,
I would like to see that barracks. It just looks like a Dragoon could fit like on top of that barracks, no?
It might be able to walk around here. I'm not sure what the tiles that is, but I love this play for machine learning right now.
Oh, the eBay? Yeah, this is so smart.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after cutting that probe, you know, like you're saying, Protoss is thinking, oh, I'm going to get the fastest Nexus ever.
Yep.
Nope, no you're not.
So Lair Sniper has decided that he's going to go with Robo first now. So
Robo first. Oof.
For third pylon. Oh, no, third pawns here. So Robo before Nexus. Definitely should be some Reaver play here, trying to get it in there to squeeze it in before the timing of the Terran units have any eBay stuff up or Goliath, so you can fly in there with the shuttle right away.
Meanwhile, we got machine learning. That natural's been up for a while and already with the SCV advantage over the Protoss. Kind of insane. Yeah, he's starting off pretty well here.
Machine learning looking good. Strong academy. I like that he's getting an early academy so he can scout inside the base. He knew that he slowed down the Nexus and he was like, couldn't do it. Oh no, not
Alright,
again.
let's see if he makes the same mistake. Yeah, okay, 3 SCVs this time. He's like, I'm not doing that again. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, alright, he moved it back. He moved it back down to it. 2. Terran, if you're ever in a predicament where it's about to blow up, you can unload a Marine and put it back, but make sure it's turned grid 16 or better, or else it won't respond quick enough to push in it.
SCV at that third. He scouted the Nexus going down at the third base, which is kind of nice.
Okay. And Laserstrike decided he's just going to go Observer, kind of see. You know what you got to be careful of with these gasless is you get a little bit like feeling they're safe. Like, oh yeah, well they didn't put a gas layer, so it'll take them a while. And then Terran will throw down 2 facts immediately and get like a 3-4 tank and like 4 Marine push. And a very awkward timing if you're taking a third where you're only on 2 gateways for a while and can actually push.
Okay.
It's important to get this Observer in here and just kind of see what's going on here. Like, seeing one, when he gets his Observer up here, he can say, okay, well, 1 fact, the second one's just done. Like, I'm a little bit safer. I only see 1 tank. Like, I can take this safely and make a choice.
Got it, got it.
And he'll see usually with the armory this quick, spinning, this means that the Terran is looking to play a little bit longer of a game, at least the mid-game, before he's going to make his pushes.
I see, I see. Yeah, that armory should be a pretty good indicator. Like, the typical timing is 2-1, right?
Yes, there's been a, like you said, the 6 fact plus 1 timings have been coming out a little bit more to really catch Protoss that are like overexpanding. Or if they don't do damage with like their Reavers, they've invested a lot of money, they do no damage, it dies to a turret or something, they can add on the factories and kind of just come and run you over.
Got it, okay.
It does happen. And you know what, it's so easy to get caught by because you feel so comfortable because they expand like this and they're getting siege, like you feel good. And the next thing you know, there's 7-8 tanks and like 20 vultures coming to your base and you're like, oh no. Scouts to the starport, very important.
Yeah, I was going to just say, another starport opening here for machine learning. Last time this was just for that vessel. He just plays a pretty quick science facility, gets a vessel out, I think to counteract Arbiter play, and then he'll go third after that.
Yeah, well, last time he actually turned it into a 2-1 timing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
2-1, but I think he has both of those options, right? He has the 2-1 timing, or he can go into a third and protect against Arbiter. Well, I think either of those are fine. Right, but some observers like you wanted.
Very nice adjustment there. Yeah, getting rid of that early observer. I mean, that's annoying, right? Really, Protoss scouted the starport. You could assume there's going to be a science facility behind that, but he really just wants to know when the third timing is. Not being able to know that is, just makes Protoss kind of wary, for sure.
For sure. Okay. I like it. Snipe adding a quick Citadel. He's adding Forge.
Would like to see mine upgrade. And actually, I feel like he needs a couple more factories here at least. Second add-on. These vultures, when you start producing them in this kind of number, you might as well have them on the map doing some harass and laying some mines. So I think those being slow speed vultures, or speedless vultures without mines this late into the game is a little bit of a misstep.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because he waited to add these 2 factories. He's not on the map. He doesn't know what the Protoss is doing. He could have easily been super greedy and taken a 4th and been spread super thin. You could be out there harassing. Right now, the Terran's playing pretty blind to what the Protoss is doing, He's saving up those scans. He's got to 200. Let's see what he's scanning. He scans the Arbiter tech, though. That's important.
That's very important.
See, the
Yeah.
big scan though right there was on the gateways. He sees 4 gateways only, and he has 5 factories almost done. That could be a little signal for him to say, you know what, I got to get on the map. He might not have that many units. Like, I think he should scan that there's 4 gateways, maybe scan the army and see what he's dealing with. Because we got like 15 goons, 16 goons.
Yeah.
You know, you start rallying enough vultures down there with 6 tanks, you could run them over.
Yeah, he could. He definitely, it's possible at this point.
Well,
I don't think he'd do it without speed or mines, though. Kind of
still
the
no speed, still no mines.
unfortunate part. Yeah, no, still no speed, still no mines. Plenty of factories finally. He just really needs those upgrades, man.
Yeah, 2-1 almost done though. Starting to get there, about 50%.
Yep. Oh boy.
For that timing.
I don't know what else to say. He's got to get mines. He'll never win with this timing if there's no mines. There we go. He started him.
All right.
Maybe that's his cue to start moving across the map. He just needs the mines by the time he gets over there.
And then, Machine, I'm going to go back to your point again. If he sees that observer above his army, just kill it. There's nothing worse than a Terran army just showing up at your natural, because you didn't know they moved out.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to scan that army, especially before you move out. You got to scan your own army. If you're not paying diligent attention to anything that's running up over your army, you should almost just assume it's there, right?
Yeah.
What's more important for a Protoss to scout than, the position of your army?
The army movement for PvT is so important to know exactly where it is on the map so you don't get surprised. Because if they can set up, if they set up over here and push in, there's just no breaking out of here. I will say I like that Snipe has chosen to get some Templar. I don't know if he got an observer back in here to see that this is 7 fact, but this is a great way to counter it other than just the Arbiter. Because if you look at this army, pretty good amount of tanks, 11, right, and then a ton of vultures. You can storm off the vultures in a storm or 2.
Yeah, this is kind of the new flavor of PvT, right?
Oh, yeah. Storm's coming back very strong. Like I said, probably thanks to a lot of that fat flash random play where he just rushes natural and main 30 times with Templars and Storm Dolls, SCVs. But it's becoming definitely something really strong where 7 fact push out, you go Storm, he comes in with units, and you just wreck it. Like I said, if you know that this is happening and this is coming, as long as you win this fight, you're usually very, very ahead. As we saw in the Jellyman game versus Machine Learning, he won that first fight, he was very, very ahead. It kind of leaves you open to do what you got to do.
Easier said than done. Once again, Machine Learning moving up to the high ground, showing units up there, placing down mines, and I think he's going to move off to the left here.
He is. Well played.
This is unique.
Played.
I mean, yeah, Protoss is out of position. I would always assume Terran's attacking from high ground.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Ooh, he could cut the army off with mines here.
He really could. He's gonna.
Oh my, 500 IQ. How does he know?
That's why he's S&P 500.
How does he know? This is really good.
Yep, he's got a siege here now, blocking 2 pads. Another observer snipe.
Ooh, huge mine connects. Most of those siege tanks aren't sieged up yet, though. I really would like to see that.
Oh,
ooh, big storm. Big storm.
But these goons, AI, stuck on the wall, stuck on the ramps, a good defensive matrix.
Yeah, good D-matrix going down. More zealots rallying up from the natural. He's got more storm. Will it be enough? Oh, it's so close. He's got 2 more storms. Just
use it. You can kill this tank.
Oh boy, and the tanks they're going down. They're going down slowly. Ooh, gets the vessel as well. That was a big pickoff. Laser snipe with the sick hold, man.
Well done. That was a tough position. All right, we got a vulture run by here.
We do have vulture run by pulling those probes so quick. I love seeing that. It's not easy to do in the middle of chaos. Man. Or you can run through it. Those are vultures. They're made of paper, bro. You just gotta touch them.
So here's what makes me nervous for the Terran when they do this. the main and the natural. Ooh, really starting to look low.
Yeah, main and natural,
so
very
much.
low. The other thing I'm not liking here, we got Arbiter Tech up as Protoss, and once again, I'm not seeing a turret in sight. Gotta have those turrets.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Machine, he did what I do a lot. He didn't click on the mineral patch for those
Mineral,
SCVs
I
in
know.
the third.
I noticed that at the third.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
it happens. Definitely. Yeah, could use those 7 SCVs mining just about now though. And doing a little bit of Volt Harass over at the 4th here for the Protoss, laying down some mines. Ooh, could use some observers with that force. These mines are going to start getting way too efficient of trades.
Yeah, one thing I think one thing that I know that I had to definitely change up my game was observer speed. You gotta
research it?
Oh, you gotta research it for the mid late game. I used to be one of those people I used to play it forever. I was like, I don't really need it. I'll move them, but you need it to move your army.
Okay.
Very thin tank line from the natural to the third here.
Yeah, it is very thin. You can almost just stasis those tanks and then move up.
He doesn't have it yet.
Oh, big storm on those
Storm
vultures,
on the vultures.
though.
Exactly what I was talking about before. Well done. No vessel. He has like 3
Another big storm on those tanks. He could take these tanks down here.
Going up the ramp. Oh,
and he runs up the lamp. Just what I wanted to see. Oh, he might get that vessel too.
Yes,
he's just gonna do too much damage here.
Big. Yeah.
I feel like even if he loses these Dragoons and the Arbiter up there, just by denying this is such a big deal. Oh no, this Arbiter though, he's gonna lose the Arbiter for free.
But he's gonna get the command center.
Yeah. What do you think? Is Terran gotta just full tilt push back here? Can he retake a third and win from this position?
I think it's very hard to win from this position. The first fight failed. He's only on 5, 6, 7 siege tanks. 8 just came out.
Protoss doesn't seem to care. It looks like Protoss is going to attack anyway.
Well, I think in this position, as long as you're trading somewhat efficiently, it doesn't matter. Like, he's doing the smart thing. He had a lot of money in the bank. He's winning fights. He knows the Terran's not coming. He's expanding all over. As long as he keeps his pressure on, eventually the Terran will break.
Yeah, and pretty much on cue. Cleaning up once again the tanks that went over to try to retake that third. He's just forcing movement and forcing action out of the Terran. Meanwhile, Terran's naturals mined out. He is starting this command center up at the 12 o'clock base. I mean, it's still like he'd have to overextend himself pretty hard just to hold that base right now.
Yeah.
He needs to get some, some siege tanks up there. Ooh, kind of single filing it into these Dragoons though. It did pick off a Templar though.
They're cornered in. You could pick them up. So I think now the Terran has to drag the game out, right? The Terran has to get another command center up. He's probably going to have to float the one from his main in a second, or his natural.
Yeah.
Get up there. But now I go back to the first match. I go back to the first match. Carrier switch after the Arbiters have done their damage.
Yep. Carrier switch, man. It would have been nice.
No dealing with these tanks now. No dealing with these tanks. These vultures, they're real nice. You can't attack up into the sky.
Yeah, I definitely can't attack the sky.
that range that shoots halfway across the map will not happen even as far as the carriers are above them. It doesn't matter. They can dodge the tank fire.
I feel like right now, Laser Snipe thinks, this is like a pistachio nut that's like almost cracked. He's like just right there. I think he's just gonna put a little bit more pressure on him. And hopefully he just kind of falls apart. So, looks like he's gonna engage. T-tanks there at the natural. Ooh, walking into some mines, unfortunately. Really, he's got to be better about moving that observer forward. But
I really love this attack, though. He knows that the units are moving to defend the expansion, right? The tanks are all moving. A really good winning condition for Protoss. Get on the production of Terran. You get into the main base here and get on this production, it's over.
Yeah.
He's just cleaning up the rest of his army.
Yeah, he definitely is. Keeping that money pretty low. Yeah, did a great job of macroing there.
There
Wow,
is
really well.
GG.
GG. Very
Well
well played from Laser Snipe.
played. Well played. Wow, those were some good games in there. A lot
Oh
of good
yeah,
stuff from our
absolutely.
players. A lot of good stuff from the players in this group. I'm glad that these guys are in this league, and this is an awesome league for players to learn. And um, and I think that hopefully I'll get some of these guys on my team so I can help work with them. And we can keep getting these guys going because a lot of good stuff from what I saw here.
Definitely, man. Yeah, you said it. Like, pretty impressed with a lot of the play that we saw, a lot of the macro, honestly. Like, I mean, we didn't see a ton of big supply blocks. Like, builds were on point. We got to see some pretty cool plays, pretty nice, control. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting. Really happy to be casting and really just get to work with some of these guys. You
Yeah,
know.
I'm definitely excited. So yeah, we didn't get through all the Group 41 matches. There are a couple more there. Machine and I will have to talk about maybe another night that we can get some of these in. But Machine, thanks for coming on with me tonight. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for everyone who watched. Hopefully people picked up some tips, and it was definitely something you can learn from as we go through.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Raz.
Of
Till
course.
next time, buddy.
All right, we're gonna give a rate on Just. What do you think?
Yeah, just as a good boy. Let's do it.
We'll give the rate to Just. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate the donations too. We're sending over to Just.